Have you ever been heartbroken? Whether it's the ache of unspoken words, the sting of betrayal, the slow unraveling of a bond, or the cool hand of circumstance tearing two souls apart, heartbreak is a universal thread woven into the fabric of the human experience. And where words fail, art speaks. Throughout history, artists have captured the agony of lost love and romantic tragedy, turning heartbreak into visual poetry. Their works serve as emotional touchstones, connecting us with the universal pain of lost love across different times and cultures. Today, I'll be visiting 4 19th century paintings located in London that explore these very themes. And the first 2 are located at Tate, Britain. Hero, having thrown herself from the tower at the sight of Leander drowned, dies on his body, was painted by William Etty in 1829. The Greek myth of Hero and Leander is one of star-crossed lovers bound by inevitable tragedy. Hero, a priestess of the cult of Aphrodite, lives in the tower of Sestos on the shore of Hellespont, while Leander, a handsome youth, resides in Abydos, separated from Hellespont by a treacherous sea channel. One night, Leander travels from Abydos to Hellespont to attend a festival where he meets Hero, and the two fall madly in love. Under the watchful and disapproving eyes of their parents, they are forced to keep their relationship a secret. So each night, Hero lights a torch to guide Leander as he swims across the strait to be with her. One night, there are particularly fierce winds, but Leander, seeing the flame of Hero's torch, dives into the stormy sea without a moment's hesitation. Unfortunately, a sudden gust extinguishes Hero's flame, leaving Leander lost and overwhelmed by the waves. When his body washes ashore, a grief-stricken Hero leaps from the tower, choosing to die beside her beloved. Here, Leander's lifeless body lies sprawled on the shore of Hellespont, entirely naked except for a modest green shawl that drapes across his upper left thigh. Hero, overcome with grief, lies upon him. Her arms tenderly wrap around Leander's face and chest as she takes her final breaths. Her upper body radiates anguish, tenderness, and grace, while her lower body, battered from the fall, appears graceless, reflecting the brutality of her death. Her long black hair cascades over her right elbow, mirroring the angle of Leander's outstretched right arm, thus symbolically uniting the two lovers in death. The undulating, foamy waves reflect the recent storm that claimed Leander's life, and in the left background, the shore of Abydos, where Leander began his fateful journey, is faintly visible. Etty referred to this painting as one of his favourite works, and understandably so. The figure's poses evoke such immense pathos and heartbreak, capturing the tragic essence of the well-known legend. This next work explores the theme of heartbreak through a much more personal lens. Beata Beatrix, which translates to Blessed Beatrice, was painted by the pre-Raphaelite artist Dante Gabriel Rossetti in the 1860s. This painting is a posthumous portrait of Rossetti's wife, Elizabeth Siddal, depicted as Beatrice Portinari, the muse and eternal love of the Italian poet Dante Alighieri. In his 1294 poem, Dante describes first seeing Beatrice when he was just 9 years old. Though their connection was fleeting and largely unspoken, his love for her endured beyond her untimely death at the age of 24, becoming a central force in his life and work. Over time, Beatrice has come to symbolize unrequited love. Here, Rossetti draws an intimate and deeply personal parallel between Dante's grief and his own anguish at having lost Elizabeth on the 11th of February in 1862. The result is an artwork steeped in layers of symbolism and emotion that blends literature, poetry, and autobiography. Elizabeth, in the guise of Beatrice, is depicted moments before her death. Her eyes are closed, her lips slightly parted, and her head tilted back as though she is slipping away from the earthly realm and into the divine. Her hands rest gently in her lap, palms upturned as if welcoming the red dove that hovers above them. The dove carries an opium poppy in its beak, a poignant reference to Elizabeth's death by laudanum overdose. In the background, the Arno River and Ponte Vecchio of Florence evoke the city in which Dante and Beatrice's love story takes place. To the right, the figure of Dante gazes towards an angel who holds a flame, perhaps to symbolize the faint, flickering flame of Beatrice's life. A sundial casts a shadow over the number 9, alluding to Beatrice's death on the 9th of June in 1290. This painting is hauntingly beautiful, and it's imbued with such intensely personal symbolism that it's almost impossible not to be swept up in Rossetti's profound love for his own Beatrice and his heartbreak at having lost her. Here, Elizabeth is immortalized as a tragically beautiful heroine and the one true love of Rossetti's life, encased in a hazy fog of loss, sorrow, and melancholy. By the way, these paintings and many more located in different parts of the world are featured in my new book, Love, Heartbreak and Tragedy in Art. Click the link in the description box below to find out more and to get your very own copy. Next, I'm headed to the Wallace collection to view a work of romantic tragedy set in hell. Like Beata Beatrix, Ari Scheffer's 1835 painting is also inspired by Dante's writings, in this case, Inferno, the first part of Dante's epic narrative poem that describes his imagined journey through the 9 circles of hell, purgatory, and finally, paradise. In the second circle of hell, Dante and his guide, the poet Virgil, encounter the souls of Francesca da Rimini and Paolo Malatesta, who are condemned to spend eternity in the relentless grip of a torrential storm. Francesca recounts her tragic story. Forced into a political marriage with the elderly and disfigured Giovanni, she falls helplessly in love with his younger brother Paolo. When Giovanni discovers their affair, he murders them both. Because Francesca and Paolo were guided by love and passion as opposed to reason and rationality, they are damned to the second circle of hell, reserved for lustful sinners. Ari Scheffer portrays Francesca and Paolo locked in a tender embrace, their bodies suspended against a dark, hellish backdrop. Paolo shields his eyes from the storm, his chest marked by the wound of his murder. Francesca clings to him, her eyes closed, tears cascading down her cheeks. Their forbidden love has doomed them to eternal suffering. Enveloped by flowing drapery, they remain as one, forever bound by love as powerful as the winds that govern them. To their right, cloaked in shadow, Dante and Virgil silently contemplate the lovers' fates. Our final work is located at the Leighton house, Orpheus and Eurydice. Painted by Sir Frederic Leighton in around 1864, the painting depicts a moment from the tragic myth of Orpheus and Eurydice, as recounted in Ovid's Metamorphoses. To the left, we see Orpheus, the musician, with his lyre. To the right, Eurydice, the beautiful nymph with whom he falls in love. The two are enamored with each other and decide to get married. But on their wedding day, Eurydice is bitten by a venomous serpent and dies. Heartbroken, Orpheus descends into the underworld in a desperate attempt to retrieve her. After playing a melody so moving that it softens the heart of Pluto, the god of the underworld, he is granted permission to bring Eurydice back, on one condition. He must not turn around to look at her until they have left the underworld. Orpheus makes it most of the way, but just moments before their departure from the underworld, he cannot resist casting a cautious glance at his beloved. His momentary lapse costs Eurydice her chance at life, and Orpheus loses her forever. Leighton's painting brilliantly captures the love, passion, grief and desperation of both Orpheus and Eurydice. Eurydice clings to Orpheus, grasping at his robes. With her white dress and ivory pale skin, she seems to belong to the land of the dead. Orpheus struggles to resist the temptation to look at her. We feel his agony as he fights against his own desire. His right arm pushes her away, yet his eyes yearn for her. His furrowed brow conveys his torment, and his curled fingers seem to itch with the longing to pull her closer. This tension between pulling and pushing so poignantly encapsulates the desperation of their predicament. Thank you for watching this video. Do let me know which of these works is your favorite and why in the comment section down below. As mentioned, the works discussed in this video are part of the many paintings featured in my new book, Love, Heartbreak and Tragedy in Art. It's full of beautiful artworks by both renowned and lesser known artists from the 17th to the 19th centuries that tell stories that will shock, sadden, and move you. Some of the other tales you'll come across in the book include Gismunda, who clutches the heart of her murdered lover, of Byblis, who collapses under the pain of unrequited love, and of King Pedro, who unearths the corpse of his one true love 6 years after her death. Click the link in the description box below to read more about it and to get your very own copy. And for those of you who already have a copy, please let me know your thoughts on it. Once again, thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you next time.